today we want to talk about EMG. This is a technology we use in a lot of our assessments, a lot of our treatments. So Brian's holding the unit. It's just like little tiny, almost looks like the key fob for your car. And on the back there are 4 little metal pieces that when we put that on your skin, basically this is measuring the electrical activity that's going through the muscle fiber. So we already have 2 on Brian's hips, 1 on a hamstring, so we're going to put another on the hamstring. It's really easy, as you can see. We just literally stick it right onto the skin, and then that stays in place whenever we're doing any kind of activity. So this is not a strength assessment. This is simply looking at the electrical signals going through the muscles. So we're thinking about activation patterns, sequencing, ratios versus specific muscles. So we use this as an assessment tool, trying to figure out what are you using too much, not enough, but it can also give you a lot of information to optimize your patterning. We want the biggest muscle groups controlling the most important motions, say in the lower extremity, stopping knee valgus. We want to make sure glute max is doing its fair share. We want to decrease hamstring overactivation, etc. This gives us an objective measure versus saying, well, this is what I feel hamstring, I feel glute. This gives us a really great assessment of that.
Okay, cool.
Okay guys, so we have Brian here. He has 4 EMG sensors on, 1 on either glute and 1 on either hamstring. So let's look at a couple of the movements and activation patterns that we assess. So one, Brian's just going to do a standing fire hydrant. So he's in a little bit of a hip hinge, a little bit of bend at the knee. And basically what we're looking at up here, this amplitude is looking at the electrical signal itself. So as you can see, when Brian's moving the right femur, he's getting glute max activation, that's the red. Fairly low level hamstring, that's ideal. We want glute max doing a vast majority of the motion at the hip. He's gonna switch. Basically, with this, what we can do is we can look at, is the sequence looking the way we like it to? Glute max doing the most. We can also look at the amplitude to make sure that signal intensity is the way we like as well. We can do this at any superficial muscle in the body. Brian's going to do a couple squats. This is another common one we look at. Number 1 is a diagnostic tool. Are you patterning the way that we prefer? And also as a training tool, when Brian's doing kettlebell swings, squats, Olympic lifts, we can assess when the load increases, does the pattern remain the same?